Hello, my name is Brittany Kaiser. I'm currently an 8th grade world history teacher at Prattville Junior High School. Today I'll be introducing the app Remind, which is useful in communicating to students, parents about information in regards to school. The app also allows for instant feedback through the use of direct messaging. The best part of this app is that it's completely free, so you don't have to worry about any pesky charges. So let's get started by going to the browser and typing in remind.com. Once you arrive to the homepage, you'll notice there's a green box that says sign up, but under it you will see how it works. What this is a video that gives you a general overview of Remind. So let's view it together.
This is Remind. It helps teachers like Elena save time by keeping her students engaged and on track. It lets David extend learning beyond the classroom walls without sharing any phone numbers. With Remind, Michael can stay on top of any last-minute changes with instant communication. Bill can encourage his players. Amanda can focus on the students that need her most. And effectively collaborate with their parents. And most importantly, Remind helps teachers like Amy to support their students and make an impact. Remind. Safe, simple, free. Try it today.
So now you have a general idea of how Remind can be used in the classroom. So let's register. We're going to go back to the homepage and go to sign up. Now, there are 3 ways that you can actually register for using a Remind account. You can use an email, you can use a phone number, or you can sign up using your Google account. You're going to have to enter general basic information such as your first name, last name, and you're going to have to provide a password. You create your own password. It only has to be 6 characters. Now, the next step within Remind asks you to identify or tell a little bit about yourself. This basically wants to figure out what role you have within the classroom. There are 4 roles that you can take: teacher, student, parent, or administrator. We are a teacher, so we're going to identify as a teacher. All right, so we're going to go, and what do students and parents call you? We're going to put Ms. B. Kaiser. Now you can add your school. My school system has actually been using this for a while. We've been using it for a few years. I personally used it for a couple years in the classroom. All right, we're probably doing a high school. Now you're going to give your class a class name. I'm going to title my classroom World History 8 because it's the subject I teach. If you look right down here at the bottom, you have a dialog box that says, I will only message people 13 and older. What this is actually referring to is teachers within the elementary sector. If you're an elementary teacher, you can use Remind. The only difference is you won't be personally contacting your students. You'll probably just be contacting their parents. Versus on a secondary level, most those students already have an email address and cell phone. So I get to contact students and parents. All right, so we're going to hit add. Voila, my class is now created. All right, now I'm going to go over here and I'm actually going to create another class. The reason why I'm doing so is because as a teacher, I teach different sections. So I'm going to create a class for my first period section. I'm going to title that class First Period. Now, if you see right here at the bottom, you have a class code that's generated. This has to deal with enrolling students and parents, which I'm going to explain very, very briefly. All right, we create. Now my class is created for my first period. Now, in order to enroll participants, which are students and parents, there are different ways that you can do so. I'm going to explain those 4 different ways. The first way is through in-person instruction. For example, say if a student is near you and they have their cell phone out or their parent has their cell phone out, all they can do is text at 8E467E to the number 81010. As soon as they send that message, they're automatically enrolled within that Remind group. Another way for students and parents to enroll is through you, the teacher, manually entering in information, which is phone number, names, all right, email accounts. The next method of you enrolling participants is through sharing a link in which you send out a link to those email accounts of those students and parents. Once they accept, they're automatically enrolled. The last final way for you to enroll participants is through the use of PDF. And most teachers actually use the PDF because they pass it out at the beginning of the school year with their syllabus. And it's just the information printed out and students follow it step by step and they automatically can enroll themselves. Also, parents follow it too. Now, I just want to touch on one of the main features of Remind. Remind is a useful tool for communicating with students and parents. The plus is you can send out announcements. Now, most teachers actually use Remind to send out class announcements. When it comes to class announcements, that can be about tests, upcoming projects, or school events. Now, under the option of sending out announcements, you have 3 features that you can use as a teacher. You can attach things to your announcement. For example, let's say if you have an upcoming test, you can attach your notes to your test to the announcement, and students will receive that in a text message and an email. Another great feature is the use of scheduling. I know sometimes we teachers have so much on our plate. Now, with the scheduling tool, you can actually go in, pre-type your announcement, and schedule what day you want that announcement to go out, exactly what time you also want it to go out. So that's a useful tool in helping you stay organized. One of the last features that's very, very important within Remind is the Translate app, okay? The Translate app. As a teacher that deals with ESL students, specifically Korean students, it can be a tough bit of a struggle. But this app kind of helps ease that problem. You can actually go to that language and convert your message to that language. In turn, that student is able, and also their parents are able to read that announcement, and they can send their announcement back in their native tongue, in which you can convert back to English. So you're actually getting to communicate with your students. It's not a frustrating process. Recently, Remind updated some of its features in an effort to improve organization. One of those new features that they created is something called a new activity. And as a teacher, you can create activities. All right, let's say you have a field trip that's coming up. All right, we're going to put zoo as a description. Location, we'll put Montgomery. Date, we'll put tomorrow. All right, we'll put the time, 12:05 a.m. apparently. All right, and we're going to create. Now, you can send out an additional message with this activity, or you can send out this activity itself. But the key thing I want you to see about sending out an activity is it gives you the option to add to a Google Calendar. So if you are a student, or if you're a teacher or parent and you use Gmail or Google, you can attach this to your calendar and instantly be reminded of upcoming events. So no longer having to manually type that in. So that is a plus. All right. When it comes to using Remind, you also have the opportunity to now have individual or send out individual messages. Okay. So when it comes to your individual interactions, you can send out a message. Students can interact with teachers. Teachers can interact with parents. So this allows for, like I said, for you to talk. Okay. If any time that you become confused with using Remind, you're just going to go over here to this left-hand section. You go to Help. Under Help, you'll find a variety of ways to figure out things out. You have a facts section of resources, tutorial videos, and you also have Contact with Remind. Most of the time, it will actually be subscribed to Live Remind, meaning you'll have an immediate response from a helper or worker. Overall, this tool in the classroom is very, very effective. It's great to help with encouraging students to be organized, and also encouraging them to communicate with you and communicate with their parents, because at the end of the day, we want our students to be concerned about their grades and be involved. So thank you for viewing my presentation.